What's up, family? Hey, I want to jump on here and have a real heart to heart with you guys. I'm still here in North Carolina. I fly out today, going back to Cali. While I was here, um, I had my daughter give me a huge back tattoo. It's a large cross. And I have so many people that have hit me up and like, man, why would you get a cross? That represents death and blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you get an ankh and da 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 da? You know what I mean? Family, we have to grow up. We have to grow up spiritually, intellectually, emotionally. We have to grow up. Okay? Let me answer that question. Not because I feel like I have to, but because I feel the need to. And there's a difference. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. A while back, I was sitting in my house and out in California, and I was talking to my sister, and she was trying to tell me how nice North Carolina is. Man, I got to come out here and visit her, and whoopty whoopty whoop, and man, she wanted me to move out here, and just all this other stuff, right? In my mind, this was just a matter of months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. Like, I'm not moving out to North Carolina. I love where I'm at. You know what I mean? Why would I move down south? You know what I mean? First and foremost, if I moved anywhere, it'd probably been to Montana or to Alaska, because I love the outdoors. I love fishing. I love hunting. I love nature. There's no way I was moving to North Carolina. In my mind, I'm not dealing with racism. In my mind, I'm not dealing with ignorance. None of that. Where I live in mountains in California is nice. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. In my mind, I had the thoughts and beliefs that people walked around in the South. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, massa. No, massa. And I'm not that one. You know what I mean? I'm not that one at all. That was my ignorant belief. Nobody does that. But I had that preconceived notion that was still going on in the South. That's my ignorance. That's my bad. When I came out here and saw for myself, I've been out here for a little over a week. Man, this is like paradise, you know what I mean? I love it out here. I really like it out here in North Carolina. I feel the vibe. I'm not going to say of all of North Carolina because I haven't been to every place in North Carolina. But in Greensboro, man, I feel this place. Greensboro, yeah, I'll probably move here. There's not no probably to it. It's my plan. What does that got to do with the cross? We have to grow. We have to change our way of thinking. We have to change our way of thinking. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And change is so hard because change says that you were wrong. You know what I mean? Change says that you weren't doing it right. And so many of us have so low of self esteem that we can't afford to be wrong anymore. We can't afford to acknowledge that we were doing things wrong because our belief system, our how much we value ourselves has been so tainted, has been so destroyed that we can't carry that extra weight. We can't acknowledge that, because our ego won't allow us to. And that's all it really comes down to. Is your ego. You got ego issues. And you don't want to acknowledge that. To each their own. It is what it is. Um, but I got the cross. And I got the cross because it's a perfect symbol. It represents pain. It represents death. It represents struggles. Family, you can't have rebirth without death. You can't have growth without death. In order to reach your full potential, you got to shed some old ways. In order to grow, you got to destroy or eliminate a lot of things about you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You have to die. You have to die to yourself. You have to die to your old way of thinking. You have to die to your old way of living. I know that's hard. Excuse me, my hands are all ashy, but I know that's hard. But it is what it is. You have to get your ego under control. And you get your ego under control by killing off old ways of thinking, by changing those thinking patterns. And you can only change those thinking patterns by putting more positive patterns in its place. Okay? You don't have to destroy it, you just change it. And by changing it, it destroys itself. Okay? So I don't go out and intentionally try to kill anything as far as my belief systems or any of that stuff. I just change my belief systems. I change the way I think. I become more positive. You know what I mean? And so by being more positive, the death and the destruction of the old ways, the old belief system, they die naturally, because where energy flows, that's where healing is. Where energy flows, that's where life is. And so if you starve those things of your attention, you starve those things of your energy, they die on their own. Stay with me. The cross. Why did I get it on my back? Because I've been through so much. As many of you, we've all been through so much. And that cross represents the fact that, man, I'm still here. I'm still standing through all the hell that I've been through all the pain, all the suffering. None of that stuff could stop me from reaching my full potential. In fact, all of those things, all of that pain, all of that suffering has helped me reach my full potential. I could never reach my full potential had I not gone through the hellish things that I did. Going through those hellish, painful things has propelled me, it's pushed me along my journey to where I'm at now. You can't have life without death. You can't have beauty without sorrow, without pain, without suffering. They go hand in hand. So many of us, we want an easy life. We want a great life. No, you don't want an easy, great life. You want to be a robot. You know what I mean? You want to be a robot. Just call it what it is. You know what I mean? Family, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. And we have to start acknowledging the fact that we're wrong about a lot of things. You've been wrong about a lot of the ways that you perceived and looked at your past. You're wrong about a lot of things in regards to how you see your present situation. You're wrong. It is what it is. And I say it, you're wrong. And I say you're wrong only because if you're negative, if you see it as a negative thing, if you're not looking at it as, man, that's a beauty mark. You know what I mean? I see so many people with scars. And that's a beauty mark to them. To other people, man, it's a mark of ugliness, and man, they're scarred, you know? And that's what I'm talking about. It's the exact same mark, but it's a different perspective of how you see it. To some people, it's a scar of their pain and their suffering, and woo-doo is a symbol of ugliness and being unwanted, blah, 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 blah. And to somebody else, they'll see that exact same scar and not see it as a scar, but see it as a beauty mark. It's all in how we see things. It's all in how we view things. It's our perspective. And our perspective has to change. Our perspective is going to keep changing. If you're not changing your perspective constantly, and I'm not saying like daily, but you have to be growing up. You have to be growing. You don't know everything. And there's going to come some times where it's like the things that you knew, now that you've got more wisdom, now that you've got more insight, now that you've got more understanding, it's like, okay, man, I see that a little different now. Man, I have a deeper understanding of that. Man, I have a greater understanding of that. Man, my understanding of that is totally different. Man, I was twisted, you know what I mean? Man, I was ignorant. How bad do you want it? Most of us talk about growth and development, and we don't want to grow. We want our growth to be comfortable. We want our life to be comfortable. We don't want to have to go through any pain. We don't want to have to go through any serious changes. And we live our lives as that. We stay in these tiny boxes because we don't want to step outside of that box. We don't want to get outside of that comfort zone. We don't want to get outside of that familiarity. And so we stay where we're at. And we never go deeper spiritually, intellectually, emotionally. Family, my hope and prayer is that somehow we muster up the courage to acknowledge the fact that we've put ourselves in boxes, to acknowledge the fact that we put a ceiling on our own selves. We've limited our own selves spiritually, emotionally, physically, and every other way possible. We're so much better than that. We're so much more powerful than that. So much better than that. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.